Welcome to Teaching Orchestra. In this video, I'm going to be doing an overview of Sailor Song by Mark Williams. Mark Williams was born in Chicago, Illinois, but he spent most of his time and teaching career in Washington State, specifically Spokane, Washington. He's written a lot of pieces for concert band and for orchestra. He even co-authored a method book for band. He's done a lot of guest conducting and clinics and that sort of thing. He even wrote and arranged music for the 560th Air Force Band. Mark Williams is an accomplished bassoonist, and he has a passion for music and for teaching, and I think that Sailor Song is a winner for a lot of younger orchestras and especially for beginning orchestras. This would make a great contest piece if you have like a middle school non-varsity group. I think this would work pretty well for them. What makes this piece easier to play is that it has just the basic patterns on the D string and the A string. It does have notes on the G and C strings, but they're just open strings. There's no left-hand stuff. So you just have a basic 2-3 or major pattern on the D string, 2-3 pattern or major pattern on the A string, and that's it. Now, if you want to play fourth finger E, that's the direction that they give you here in the score, but you can play open E if you want to. If your students are not comfortable with fourth finger, it's not against the law. If you don't decide to play open E, then there's nothing on the E string, so there's no shrill, cringy playing from your first violins in this. It's gonna make your orchestra sound great. Rhythms in Sailor's dance are pretty basic. You've got your basic half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes. There's no dotted rhythms. You've got a few quarter rests and a few whole rests, but the counting should not be a challenge to most of your students. Sailor Song is fun, it's modal, and it paints a picture. According to the program notes, we aim to evoke the sometimes charming, sometimes rough world of the sailor at sea. The goal of any performing artist is to communicate emotion to their audience, either through storytelling or dynamic playing. And I think in Sailor Song, we want to be able to feel that ocean breeze on our skin. We want to be able to smell the saltwater air. We want to be able to hear the gulls singing and feel our anti-nausea wristbands digging into our wrists, and we want to be able to taste those Dramamine pills. So just an aside, do the nausea wristbands actually work? I found this peer-reviewed study from 2004 where they studied 77 subjects and subjected them to motion sickness. And according to the findings, there might be a potential delay of onset, but everybody in the study got sick. So how do sailors prevent seasickness? I mean, this is important to know if you're gonna be playing Sailor Song, because you don't wanna get seasick and you don't want your students getting seasick, and you sure don't want the audience getting seasick. So what sailors will tell you is about 3 days before you go out to sea, you're supposed to abstain from alcohol and start taking your anti-nausea medication early. That way you'll have a successful trip. But in our case as musicians, what can make our audience seasick? Could it be aggressive up bows that destroy our phrasing? Could it be bad intonation that destroy our center of pitch? You know, all of those things cannot be very pleasant. There's really nothing too confusing in Sailor Song. There's really not a lot that's going to trip up your orchestra. It's pretty easy to get, and your students should be successful fairly quickly. Everybody gets the melody. Everybody gets to play a solo. Even the violas get a spot all by themselves here at 31. One of the things that's scary about working with a beginning orchestra is wondering if they're going to be able to stay together or if they're going to fall apart in your concert. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about some strategies on how to get your orchestra to stay together. It's always every conductor's worst nightmare to fall apart during a concert and have to restart, and hopefully some of my tips in the next video will prevent that from happening. So I'll see you then.